Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. I've got you out here on my back porch because today we're going to start planting our seeds for the garden this year. Look, this isn't overly complicated. Sometimes I kind of chuckle at myself wondering, why am I even doing this video? Because it's basically, you put dirt in trays, you put seeds in the dirt, you put water on it, and you wait for things to happen. However, I know that I can often overcomplicate things, and we can think that we have to have all kinds of special things in order to do this. If you're not sure about that, then go back to my video that I did on setting up an indoor greenhouse, or how to set up a space for starting your seeds indoors, and you'll know what I mean by that. Now, you'll see behind me some of the trays we have from last year. What we try to do when we do things like this is to save as much as we can from previous years or things that we purchased, so we don't have to end up purchasing those again, or we just make things do double duty. As an example, instead of getting special kind of sticks or buying toothpicks, it'd be kind of hard to write on toothpicks, popsicle sticks or things like that to label your plants or your rows in your garden. Basically what we do is we take old tubs of sour cream or butter or things like that, and then we just cut them up, and then we write on them, and we put that in the ground, and we label them. Again, I know it's not that much money, but to buy toothpicks or something like that. But again, just doing double duty, and so we just simply take, again, a tall butter tub or sour cream or some other plastic tub that you get from the grocery store that you get something in, again, and then just cut it up, label it, and put those in. What's nice about this is this won't rot, it won't smear. We use a permanent marker, we use a Sharpie, and again, we just cut a whole bunch of them up and use those. So again, use something that can do double duty, that way you save money. All right, so I guess let's go ahead and get started. We use Miracle-Gro, a Miracle-Gro moisture control. We make our own dirt for our garden, and we'll go over that in about another couple of months when we then transplant these out into the garden. However, we do buy from the store. I know some of you make your own dirt. That's fantastic. We don't have the time for that right now. At some point in time, we might make our own dirt for potting soil. We also like the moisture control because it helps prevent overwatering and underwatering. And my wife and I are very busy with what we do right now because we don't do this full time. And so this helps us in the aspect of controlling the moisture content of the water. So let's go ahead and let's get some of the dirt into our trays. It's not a very neat process, but that's okay. Get these all put into here. Now, I'm not going to use all of these today. We might end up planting some things later on. This is not what the plants are going to stay in long term. You can tell by the cells that they're really small. We'll get these started to a certain level, a certain height, certain maturity, and then what we'll end up doing is we'll transplant these into larger pots. You see, again, some of these back behind me. We've just kept those from previous years, and we just use them year after year after year after year. If you're gentle with them, you don't have to end up throwing them away. And so again, we're going to try to just be smart, reuse, not spend the money unnecessarily, or at least we're going to try to do the best we can in that area. And we're going to get about half of this filled, and we'll go ahead and we'll start planting seeds. All right, let's see if that will work. All right, I really do think we're good now. I keep saying that, they keep adding more. Let's go ahead and get some seeds out, and let's start getting them into the dirt. I did not bring water with me out here. I'm going to water these when I get them inside, or maybe I'll get some water and I'll bring them back out. I'll have to fade in and fade out on that cut. But, all right, let's go ahead. Let's talk about some of the seeds we're doing this year. Let's go ahead and go with, I want to do the Super Sauce Hybrid. We're excited about these. Now, if you notice, these packages are a little different than you see from the store because, again, we order these directly from Burpee. We like Burpee seeds. You might have your favorite seed. I'm not saying my seed's better than your seeds. I'm just saying we like Burpee seeds. We've tried a number of other seeds that have not had a lot of good success in the germination rate. However, we do order our seeds directly from Burpee because what we have found out, some of the seeds, not all the seeds, some of the seeds that we get from the store seem to have problems with disease more than the ones you get directly from Burpee. Now, that doesn't mean to say that these also don't maybe have some problems from time to time, but we usually find out that we rarely have disease problems with the things that we order directly from Burpee. And so again, these are a Super Sauce Hybrid. These are kind of like a Roma. Now, we're going to be planting some Roma, but we're excited about these because these Super Sauces are 5.5 inches tall and they're 5 inches wide, at least they're supposed to be. That's the average size of the fruit. And so again, we are very excited because if that's actually what these do, it will make making our sauces much easier because it'll just be less labor intensive. The Romas are nice, however, these are also supposed to not have any seeds or very few seeds. So again, Super Sauce Hybrid, you can watch us grow them this year. We'll take you through the growing season, and then you can see whether you want to grow some of these the following year. So let's go ahead and open that package up. My handy dandy little boogie board says I am supposed to plant 4 Super Sauce. Now we get 25 seeds, but we're supposed to plant 4 Super Sauce. Supposedly, the advertisement says that you can get 1 jar of sauce for, 1 jar of sauce from one tomato. Can you imagine that? 1 jar of sauce per tomato. That would be fantastic. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, Romas. Taped them. We used them last year. I'm supposed to do 4 Romas. However, again, I think to avoid putting 2 seeds in each, cell, we'll put 1 seed in each cell and just overplant. Again, if we do too much, or if everything comes up, as my kids like to text me, NBD. No big deal. We just get to give some away. All right, Sungold Hybrid. Let me tell you, a lot of you like cherry tomatoes. I love tomatoes, but I'm not a big fan of cherry tomatoes. I really think it's a texture thing. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll grow to like cherry tomatoes, but right now, not so much. But my wife loves cherry tomatoes. And these, she says, are sweet. As they say, it says a Sungold Hybrid. They come out yellow. They're about the size of a grape, maybe a little bigger. She says they also have a sweet taste to them. She'll eat them straight off the vine. She loves to have them in her salads. We usually get so many of these. We take quart bag after quart bag after quart bag to church, and we give them away to our church family. All right. We got those all done and covered. We'll get that row all labeled. Sungold. Get that in here. We'll keep moving along. This is just, I don't know, this is therapeutic. There's a lot of things that are stressful in life. And to me, doing something like this just kind of gets rid of that stress. Ooh, this is going to be about we're going to be lucky to get 6 of the Better Boys. We've always been a fan of Better Boys. They've always been a good producer for us. I've got another one in there. I might need it. All right, we have our our better boys planted. We're about halfway through, a little more than halfway through. Better boy. All right. We have another new one that we're going to be growing this year that was interesting to us. It's called Mortgage Lifter. These are a large 16 to 24 ounce tomato. They're kind of pinkish red. They're supposed to be a great slicer. You know, just something to slice up, put on your plate, put some salt on it, and eat it just the way it is. And so again, we're going to grow these. And one of the benefits of you watching us grow it is you can see whether it's something you would like to try before having to spend the money to do it yourself. And so let's go ahead and get these mortgage lifters into the dirt. Again, the description is 16 to 24 ounce large tomatoes, slightly flattened, pink red. They're meaty with very few seeds. They're a very productive plant. They're disease resistant. And it's about 80 days after transplanting to harvest. One of the things that we haven't been very good about in the past, and I would encourage you to do, is to either on your computer in Excel or down on a piece of paper or wherever you would maybe keep records, is to write down when you put your plants in the garden. You can put that on your calendar too. Put down when you put your plants in the garden, and then on your calendar, put out 80 days or 90 days or however many days it says you're supposed to start getting the fruit's supposed to start. The fruit is supposed to be ripe. Then, as your fruits are producing, as your plants are producing, and you're wondering, I wonder if it's ready yet or if it's done yet, you'll have a good idea because you won't have to try to guess or remember when you put them in the ground and how many days it was supposed to take to get there, especially if you've thrown the seed packet away because you used the last of them, or you've got them in storage and then you got to pull the seed packet out and try to go through all that mess. Just keep it in one central location. Cabbage. Now, says we want 6 cabbage and 6 cucumber. My wife makes incredible coleslaw. We're not really big on sauerkraut. My wife likes sauerkraut on Reuben sandwiches. So do I. But other than that, not a real big fan of sauerkraut. But we do eat a lot of coleslaw comes out. We got a new cucumber this year. We had cucumbers, but they were supposed to be good for canning, but they really didn't grow the way we had hoped. And we did can them up, but we're going with a different cucumber from Burpee called the Burpee Pickler. And so we're going to go ahead and plant these. It should be a little easier. These seeds are bigger. And get these into the ground and see how they do this year. All right, look at that. Again, if we end up with extra, we'll just give it away. And go ahead and get that labeled. We'll go get some water. Get this watered. And then we'll give you some final instructions. And then we'll let you watch them grow. All right, we're back. We've got some water. Now, I can water these directly, or with this tray, I can lift this up and water from the bottom. Now, this is really nice because with these small pods like this, and if the dirt is really, really dry, it maybe makes it a little dangerous because you can cause the seed to float back up to the top. So what I'm going to try to do is water this on the little separators of the tray. And by doing that, not cause so much upheaval from the dirt. All right, let me go ahead and talk about what you need to do. Once you've got these planted in pots or trays or whatever you're going to use, you really need to keep them in a warm area. We, for a while, we were keeping our seeds out here on this porch in February in Southwest Ohio. And we had placed a small heater inside the greenhouse, an electric one, and it didn't kill us too much on our electricity, but we really struggled on getting our seeds to germinate and grow well until it got much, much warmer. because you need to keep your seed trays and the environment they're in at about 70 degrees consistently. Well, our greenhouse would go between 40 degrees to 90 degrees to 98 degrees, just these wild swings because we couldn't find any consistency. And the reason why we put it out here is because we didn't necessarily want the seeds indoors, because we had several trays. We had a dog. We didn't want the dog getting into it, although she never really did try. She's a good dog. And it was a miracle we got anything to grow. An absolute miracle we got anything to germinate. But eventually we moved these inside and the plants germinated quicker. They grew faster. They they were just a more hardy plant. And so now we just do it inside. And we've given up on trying to do anything else. If you do not have a way to keep, because most houses, all right, think of this. Most of us do not keep our house at 70 degrees, or at least we don't. We keep it, this year we were keeping it warmer, around 67 degrees. However, that's not 70. And so you're going to want to keep your plants at about 70 degrees. You can either tent it in some way and a lot of that, and put a bulb in there, and a grow light bulb, that will keep some heat in. You can end up taking an old heating pad, putting it underneath a tray. I mean, this is all you need. This is a lot of plants. If you're not going to be starting more than 70 some plants, you can just get one heating pad. You can get a cheap heating pad. You can go to Salvation Army or Goodwill and find a heating pad that you pay, pennies for, and you don't care whether it gets ruined or not, and put it underneath the tray. This won't leak, and it'll help keep your plants at that 70 degree mark. So again, we're all done. We're going to move this into our greenhouse and we'll show this to you later on. Hey, thanks for being with us today. I know it's been a bit of a long video, but hopefully it's been an encouragement. We got a chance just to talk and visit with one another. Remember, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share this. It really helps grow our channel. And if you want to be notified when we post a new video, go ahead and hit that bell button. Thanks for joining us today. You have a great day.